Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to our new podcast.
Nobody's on the NOOSPHERE.
Where I am Magos Sigma, whatever fucking name I use these days, I don't even know. But joining me today, we have regular commenter, Tech Priest Steve. Steve, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Tech Priest Steve. I have one video on my channel, and you should all go watch it. Just type in Tech Priest Steve into YouTube, and then go watch my one video. It will be a life-changing experience.
It is a legitimately fantastic video, I've got to agree. It's the real... everything on my channel is shit compared to that video.
I released it about 2 years ago, and it's really been the whole apex of my life. Past that point, it's all been downhill. To prove that point, I'm now on a podcast with Magos.
Yep, this is as low as it goes. But we do have stuff to talk about on this. Up first, we have a discussion of the news as pertains to Warhammer 40k. So, should we start with what? I mean, probably the earliest stuff would be the Warzone Armageddon stuff. You want to start there? How does that sound?
I don't know a lot about that, so.
Okay then. Well, I guess I can take the lead in this. Armageddon.
We are true professionals here.
True professionals. We've got a thing. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Let's look in there. Shadow War Armageddon. That's the new release from Games Workshop. It's like Necromunda, but it's not Necromunda. It's different this time, a bit, sort of. So, I mean, well, I guess we should first talk a bit about Necromunda. Do you know anything about Necromunda?
I know a bit about it. Not too much. I sort of know the general framing, I think, which is it's competing gangs on the hive world of Necromunda, or something like that.
Yes, exactly. There was competing gangs on the hive world of Necromunda. A lot of people liked it because it had a lot of personality. It was this small-scale skirmish game where you had these small gang teams, and they'd, over the course of a campaign, would get more powerful. They had a sort of RPG-like mechanics where your individual units would get more powerful and you get more units, and you sort of build this team. It was more in the vein of a sort of a Blood Bowl-like thing with your sort of your dudes focus on it, but.
I've heard from some people around my local Warhammer that Space Marines were balanced to be Space Marines.
There really wasn't much in the way of actual space. There might have been some stuff with things almost similar to that. I don't know exactly, but it was mostly just humans. There was some stuff with I don't remember the name from my head, but High Fleet, not Flight, the Spire gang, I believe. Was that they had some power armored units, some very endgame type stuff, and they were very powerful. But most of the time, it was just your standard humans with auto guns and such. But the game had a lot of personality. Everyone remembers the Redemptionists fondly. You know the Redemptionists, right?
They like burning things.
They like burning things. They're basically space KKK, and they're hilarious and fantastic. If you want to get an idea...
Magos, confirmed alt-righter.
Confirmed far-right, neo-Nazi alt-right, they swore when. But no, the Redemptionists are hilarious. I recommend anyone listening to this should seek out the comic book The Redeemer. It's the best thing ever, frankly. It's
those three people, you should look that up.
All three of the viewers here, look up The Redeemer. It's brilliant. But yeah, point is... That game, everyone loved it, and then GW got rid of all their specialist games. But now, with new G-dubs, they're bringing them all back, and after the success of Blood Bowl, everyone seemed to like that. They've brought back the new Necromunda, sort of.
Am I going crazy, or... well, Blood Bowl's mainly a Forge World thing now, isn't it?
It's mostly Forge World. They've got the main body of it, GW.
I remember seeing at some point that a Necromunda video game is happening.
There is apparently, isn't there? It's made by the same guys that made the one. I forgot what there was a Warhammer Fantasy version of Necromunda, and they made the video game for that. What was that called? I remember. Do you know?
I know nothing about Warhammer Fantasy.
Oh, let me look this up on Steam because fuck it. Let's figure this out. Warhammer. Let's see if we can find this. Welcome to the podcast. Brilliant podcast. Everyone loves podcasts. Let's see. It wasn't Vermintide release date.
Now, I'm not saying that
Nobody's on the NOOSPHERE.
is the greatest podcast ever, but I'm pretty sure from what you've heard so far, it's pretty close, right?
It's pretty. I don't think anyone will argue that this is something special.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll all be looking back on this episode one day, fondly.
More time. Was it more time? I think it was more time. Yeah, more time. That was it. That was the one. Yeah. It's the people that made more time, I think, are the ones working on the Necromunda game. And apparently, I didn't play it myself, but apparently, more time was pretty good. I know about the old board game was pretty good. Essentially, if you want to understand more time, it is Necromunda in Warhammer Fantasy. Not
Right.
Age of Sigmar.
Not
but
Sigmar?
No, not Age of Sigmar. No, this was again back when GW still made specialist games the first time around. But yeah. Point is, back to the subject of matter. Warhammer Shadow War Armageddon. That's the new one. The starter kit's got orcs and Space Marine scouts, and it's got all this new terrain was the main kit of it. No, have you looked at the rules at all? Or am I leaving this to?
This is completely new to me. I'm
Okay,
currently
then.
looking at the rules.
Alright, so the way it works, you've got your kill team type things. It's you got your select your units. Again, it is very rules wise similar to the old Necromunda stuff. So I ain't gonna go through how rolling and shit works. That's figure that shit out. Point is, I like a lot of the ideas. I feel like the way it limits stuff in certain ways is weird and strange. I don't know if I like it. Like the way that for the Space Marine list, the scouts are really your only sort of regular troop choice, and the actual Marines are sort of the specialist things. But for Chaos Space Marines, it's done differently, where you have both cultists and Marines, and the way how it limits taking certain choices, like the Tempestus Scions are a specialist choice for your Imperial Guard army, which means you can only take them as like a special unit in certain matches. You can't have a full Scion list, which just seems weird and stupid. I mean, that's like the whole point of Scions, is they're these specialist elite crack team, right? That makes perfect sense, but they can't. It seems like it's weirdly divided up in as far as that goes.
Yeah, that does seem odd.
Like, it's oddly, like, they chose, like, okay, here are sort of generic units and those are the main thing of it, but they didn't really think about the lore of, like, how these units operate. They just thought of, this is the generic unit for X army. You know, like,
GW not thinking of the lore, are you sure?
Shocking, I know, shocking. But, like, if you, I mean, we're AdMech guys, if you hadn't figured out from our name, so for the AdMech, for the Skitarii army example, they've got the Rangers, those are the main units of it, and the way it's done, like, you can't take Vanguard, but the way the items are laid out, you can just have them as Vanguard. You can give them all radium weapons, so it doesn't really make a difference. But point is, the Rust Stalkers and Infiltrators, only specialist units, and it feels like I sort of get it for the Infiltrators, but the Rust Stalkers, their sort of whole point is that they're these lone assassin kind of guys that go in the small teams and go hunt down shit. They make perfect sense to be like running a pure Rust Stalker team, and I mean, no one runs Rust Stalkers anyway because they're just worse than Infiltrators in regular 40k. So I'd have thought give more reasons to have Rust Stalkers, but I don't know. Again, I like the idea, execution just.
I use Rust Stalkers.
I mean,
like them.
people should use Rust Stalkers because they're cool, but rules-wise, Infiltrators are just better. So
Yeah, the main reason I use them is just because I tend to like using the Battle Maniple formation for.
Oh yeah, that too.
More fun.
They're taken as tax, but
Yeah.
I mean, you know, point is for people that aren't running detachments or formations, big things, then if people just take the Infiltrators.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, I like the basis of this. It's definitely a decent start. I feel like it needs more development, though. I feel like they should. What they've kind of done is they've gone in between. Like, I get them choosing to just use 40k armies rather than having a different gang, because that was one of the main issues with old Necromunda is people wouldn't want to get into Necromunda because they'd have to buy a whole new set of things. But with this, it means you already have your army. You can just use some units from that for your Shadow War Armageddon list. Right? Makes sense. But I feel like if you're gonna do that, be open about it. You know, let like big interesting things happen. Like, don't make it weirdly limited. Don't limit it so much. I mean, I get limiting, but you know, no vehicles make sense. No dreadnoughts make sense. Sad as that is, but you know, be a little bit more open.
You're bleeding into the next topic there. Slow down.
A little bit. Oh, calm down. All right then. Point is, they're in a sort of a funny middle ground that seems a little bit worse of both worlds to a degree. I mean, it's nice to be able to use pre-existing army, but it's kind of a shame we don't get, you know, new Redemptionist models. I'd love some new Redemptionist models. All of the fucking models. They're cool as hell. But
what I'm hearing is that you'd like new Redemptionist models because you are a alt-righter. You are far right. I'm going to assume that you would like gays to be burnt because of that comment.
Of course. This is, of course, we are going to go full. I'm not going to make that joke. I'm not going to start drama. I already said we're not starting drama in our first episode of this podcast. I'm going to make a joke at the expense of another Warhammer YouTuber brings up politics, but not doing that. Yeah.
I'm just looking at the page for it. The templates are just recolored ones that they sell, which greatly saddens me.
I mean, it makes sense, right? It's just they're regular, sort of. All the weapons work in similar ways as far as that goes. And I know the red looks cool.
I was saying more like decals.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm the kind of person that likes cohesion in my templates.
Yeah.
With my army.
Oh. Whatever. I mean, at this point, there's all sorts of ways to get templates. So you know, variety. It's fine. I like the red. The red looks pretty cool. I think so. Whatever. Again, it's
As far as I don't disagree with you that the red looks cool.
Yeah, as far as the box itself, the Shadow War again, it's a pretty good box. Again, you get a ton of terrain, you get your dice, you get your templates, you get a unit of orcs and scouts. It's probably the worst thing in the box, frankly, just because you either don't want to start either of those armies. The thing is, you probably have your army that you want to start for Shadow War again. If you're getting into that, you probably already have your own units. But yeah, if you play other orcs or space marines, there's some expansion, right?
Yeah, it's probably just GW trying to introduce people into the hobby in separate ways.
Again, yeah, I get that, but the way the rules work, they're a bit more like they're smaller scale, but they're a bit more complicated, and I don't know. I feel like it doesn't make entirely as much sense as an introductory box. That's the point of your
Dark Vengeance.
Yeah, Dark Vengeance. That's the one, and as well as the start collecting boxes, which are great. So, those
yes.
are sort of the points of that.
Why would you get a Dune Crawler?
I mean, it's a beautiful model, the Dune Crawler, and you can get it with fucking. I mean, it's what the Dune Crawler is like £40, isn't it? And the start collecting box is £50, and if you shop around, you can get it for £45. So.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. You want more Scutari? You want more Tech Priest Dominuses? Then go for it. But
yeah, it's very handy for like accidentally breaking antennas because it's like, oh, I have this massive surplus of models because I want 3 Dune Crawlers.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty great. But either way, the box it's pretty good value now. You get a nice bit of terrain. The terrain actually, it's really nice. Got to be said. That little skull crane, beautiful skull crane. I
love the skull crane.
I mean, we were talking a bit before this, trying to figure out like it's difficult to proxy it in for an obvious unit in the mech list. Probably difficult to even come up with something for the Mechanicum 40k list either. But
what about having a a servitor carrying it around as a familiar.
Yeah, okay. There's ways you can do it. Probably something more as a sort of a display piece type thing rather than anything to count as rules wise. But still, it's a beautiful piece. Look at that skull thing. Listener, go onto the GW website right now and look at that skull crane.
Three people who are watching this.
The 3 people. I mean, one of them's clicked off by now. The 2 people watching this,
and the other 2 are us.
the other 2 are us. Us watching this in the future. Go back to the GW website and look at it again because it looks beautiful. Look at that skull crane.
And appreciate that skull crane.
Oh, it's a lovely skull crane. It's a lovely skull crane.
It's a great skull crane. It's kind of impractical as cranes go.
I mean, it's Blanche 40. It's full Blanche 40k. You know, it's full. This is it's beautiful. You gotta love it. But I think that we're probably done with Shadow War Armageddon. I think that's what we've got to say about it.
Yes, it's quite interesting.
Alright then. Do you want to go on to the Death Guard stuff next?
Sure.
Alright then. GW, they announced Death Guard release. They showed up a trailer.
Yes, with a fantastic trailer.
The trailer's beautiful. They fucked up the first version of the trailer where they said, where they had a line that's, "We are the 7th Legion," but anyone that knows they're not the 7th Legion. 7 is the number of Nurgle, not the number of the Death Guard Legion. But they quickly removed that video and put up another one talking about their blood being bile or something.
Yeah, I mean, Nurgle voice acting, you can kind of just put like a soundboard on of plague, infection, bloat.
Yeah, it's, I mean...
old Papa Nurgle, and then you'll be good.
The voice acting, it's fun. I will say it's fun. Probably quality is questionable, but it is certainly, it's a fun trailer, audio-wise.
Yes. 40k is kind of an intrinsically silly setting.
I mean, it's got room for silliness, you know, that's that sort of thing. 40k,
Yeah.
it's a very big setting. There's room for all the silly stuff. There's room for serious stuff. There's room for the silly stuff. And the Death Guard, it's easy to prove them towards. They're an interesting fact. They can go either way. You can either go the edgy sort of, the serious of, oh, we're all in agonizing pain sort of thing, or they're just a fun-loving. We're Nurgle. Papa Nurgle loves everybody. He loves everybody. So he takes them stuff.
Yes, I do love the idea of Papa Nurgle's minions being happy boys that just want hugs.
Jovial, friendly, big bloated monsters trying to...
I do not play Nurgle nor Sigma or anything that would need it, but I personally own 2 boxes of Nurglings.
Yeah, you know, again, they're cool, they're cute, they're fun. It's a fun thing. But either way, the model...
I would, if GW made it, I would buy a plush Nurgling.
That would be amazing. Why hasn't GW done that yet? That's the best idea anyone's ever had.
Yeah, and I feel that there's a great room for 40k plushies.
There was those old Terminator Indomitus plushies.
Really?
Yeah, they're not official. Just someone made them. If you look around the internet, there are some. They exist, and everyone enjoys that concept. But yeah.
I have personally wanted to go to sleep snuggling up to a Sicarian infiltrator.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit spiky, but you know, I mean, give them a taser code, less sharp.
They're not as fragile in plush form.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's more sort of like it would be more tubes of plush rather than any sort of. There's not much padding there, but you know, why not?
I think there's room in each faction there's plush potential in each faction.
Yeah, you can definitely go a plushy Tech-Fizz sort of thing, and
a plushy Necron Scarab, perhaps.
Yeah. Again, this is an untapped market, and GW should get in contact with us and pay us, please.
Yes.
GW.
If that one person who's left is a GW employee or is in some way affiliated with GW, please email us or get in contact with us about the need for a plushy market.
Yeah, we will take any job you offer.
Yeah.
Okay, but what were we even talking about? The Nurgle stuff, right? Yeah, Nurgle, that's a thing. Point is, the models they showed off, they look beautiful. They look really nice. They're They're really cool looking. They're sort of towards the slightly more cartoony look of it, but it works.
Yes.
You know, the soft edges work
Yeah.
for Nurgle, I feel, and
I recently there has been quite a lot of new models that have been released have been more of the cartoony side. Please splice in photos of StarCraft Gilliman.
You're making this a painful experience for me to edit this. Oh god, I don't
Yes.
be a problem.
Especially because periodically throughout it I am going to loudly eat crisps, but mute it on the Discord mic, so you won't know when it's going to happen.
Oh great, that's good. That's fun.
Yeah.
I could just not care. I've got a like a bar here, a cereal bar type thing. I could just eat it and not care. Right.
I feel that would be in keeping with the quality of this podcast.
Yeah. Why not?
I feel that we should encourage all listeners at home to eat themselves.
Yeah, this is
Or just
this
eat in general, just to make the experience more bearable.
Yeah, you know. What were we talking about? Nurgle. What else?
Yes.
Mortarion confirmed. Remember that whole anyone that was around on the TG general threads a while ago? Remember that old image of the Windows Explorer bunch of image previews that everyone says Mortarion and no one really believed. It turns out actually it was true. Yeah, all along. Yeah, that's real.
JPEG Mortarion.
JPEG Mortarion. He looks cool as fuck. He looks like this big Death Angel. From what we've seen.
Yeah.
So hopefully he'll turn out well. There was also one rumour engine where there was like this weird maggoty looking thing, so there might be like a new Beast of Nurgle or something, maybe. I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows anything, but
No.
either way, there's not so much we can say because all there is a trailer, so just watch the fucking trailer. You can get as much
and new in the
as we
news
have.
today, we don't know what's going to happen. Thanks for tuning in.
In the news, we are not psychic, unfortunately. We're tech tweets.
Talking about Psychic, what do you think of Magnus?
The Magnus model by Forge World, that one, the new one.
Yes.
His proportions look off to me.
Do they?
He looks like he's got too big a torso and stumpy legs and arms.
I have it open right now, and I didn't think it before you said it.
And
now I'm kind of imagining that the belt and sort of the scabbards aren't there, and now I totally know what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, also no nipple horns, which frankly, what are you doing?
Well, I feel deeply disappointed about the lack of nipple horns.
I mean, come on. This is like the one constant feature that's been in all of the Magnus drawings is giant fucking elephant tusks on his nipples, but for this version doesn't have them. I mean, come on.
But it's now destroyed my favourite headcanon of those actually being attached to his nipples.
I mean, you know, he's a giant red mutant, and apparently he could do the form-changing stuff, so maybe that was the case. Like, even before he was a
nipple
demon.
horns are a great cosmetic attachment for parties.
I mean, you know, it's might poke someone's eye out, but still. They make a statement.
Yep.
But this Magnus doesn't make that statement. All he has is a rock fireball.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I like all the stuff. Like, his face looks pretty good. I think that if you've seen, there was an old picture of his painted face as well. That looks decent. Definitely less. It doesn't have the problem of, say, the Fulgrim or Korax Forge World Primarch faces, but
What, the cringing Korax?
yeah. And you know, it's all right. It's all right. It's probably it's okay. I don't know. The proportions look off. It might be the angle again. Maybe it's just this angle makes it look weird.
It's like when the first images of a reboot came out, and everyone thought he had
torches on his legs. Yeah.
Torches on his legs.
Yeah. Yeah. It's,
which I think you mentioned.
I did.
Yep.
In my leak. The line. Why does he have torches on his legs?
Yeah.
But fortunately,
and I remember like just everyone around the local shop just being like, "Why does he have ankle brassiers?"
Yeah. It was.
Then a different angle was released, and it was like, "Oh, why didn't you just use that one?"
Yeah, but that was unfortunate. But Oh well, hopefully Max looks a little bit better at any other angle. But yeah, either way. Yeah, he's okay. He looks alright, I think. That's my opinion. Looks alright. Could be worse.
Could be.
Could be. I mean, we saw on Fortune, there's also talking in AdMech related stuff, well, Mechanicum. There's the new magic automata. If you look on the Fortune new releases, and they look beautiful, they look amazing. Look at these fucking things. Yeah, you got them up? You see them?
Yes.
Yeah, look at them. They've got these. They got the claw hands. They got the crystal shit in their back. They got the big eye on their head. They got a big glowy Iron Man chest thing. I think you can only take them in Thousand Sun list, which is a shame, frankly. But still,
Yeah. They do look very nice.
they look very pretty.
I like it.
Yes. There's not much you can really say about them. I don't remember their rules.
I think you provided a pretty great audio commentary there of
Yeah.
describing it.
They look pretty. They got cool claw hands. That's all you need
Yes.
to know. They're the Castellaxes. You remember the Castellax? If you've seen the Castellax viewer, then that, but prettier. There you
Yes. I mean, isn't it within lore that the Thousand Suns had a automata section to their legion?
go. Yeah, they
Something
did
like
have some
that.
stuff like that because there are, relatively speaking, weren't that many of them. So, and I think they had like because the idea is it's the Zao Akkad Forge World, I believe, was the one that was supporting them. And yeah, it's cool. It looks cool. Looks good. It's yeah.
Extortionately expensive, as
Well, it's Forge World, of course. I mean that's the gimmick. Yeah,
it's
£40.
the gimmick that after spending £40 on it, you've then got to spend several hours cleaning it up.
You know, that's just how it is, right? This is a Warhammer cast. Everyone knows everything's expensive here, but
I always look at Fortress models. I'm like, yeah, those look awesome. Then I'm kind of like, it's gonna be a pain to do anything with them,
yeah, it's
and they cost a lot of money.
yeah.
I mean, like comparatively to the just standard plastic stuff.
Yeah,
Like-
it would be nice if I don't know. Forge World should look into doing some fucking of the like their big combo kit type stuff like GW's doing now. Because, geez,
Yeah.
you know. Either way, yeah, I think that's probably most of the stuff you've got for new models. I mean, well, there's Custody stuff, more Custodies that they're on bikes. That's about it.
This is probably a bit of an old thing at this point, but did you ever interact in any way with the what they called the Empiric Storm cards that were released around the time of the first Gathering Storm book?
I remember them vaguely. They added like sort of like demon style, like weird, just random like a mutation effects per turn, right? That was the thing of it.
Yes, I'm hoping that GW will release more things like this, as it makes games more fun.
Yeah, you know, it's
Just so every turn, like I had this game I was playing against a demon army, and then I drew a card which meant that he can use invulnerable saves, and
oh boy,
I killed him in that turn, and then that was it.
that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's interesting. There are a couple ones which I think were a bit OP for one player, like
Yeah.
if you win a roll-off, you can get a demon prince with full upgrades, which is crazy.
Oh jeez, yeah, that's again, but whatever. I sort of like the fun, really silly stuff. Just the stuff to remind you that tournament play was never intended. But
Yeah.
again, let's not start
how-
drama this time.
Yeah. How do you feel about this current edition generally?
It's bloated, but it does a lot of interesting stuff. Right? It's there's too much stuff going on, but it does some nice simulationist level. I'm sort of happy with the level between like simulationist and which is just cut down some of the extraneous stuff, which maybe 8th edition will do, maybe it won't. No idea. Oh yeah, that's in the news. 8th edition coming soon, apparently. I don't know.
Bring back. Finally going to bring back squats.
Yeah, Again, let's not get into that. The information is scant and weird, and out there it'd mostly just be theory stuff. So
Yep.
yeah,
Just kind of just random people talking.
guessing,
Probably what
assumptions.
they'd hoped to see.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess the only other thing to talk about in news would be the Caradon Overlords, where they're not 40k, but I mean, jeez.
They're basically squats.
Basically, they're steampunk squads.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, conversion potential wise, there's a lot of ways you can go. Obviously, go in this direction. You know, if you want AdMech squads, then just remove the heads, change some of the weapons out. You're basically done already. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just there's a couple symbols on there which some of them might work as like a lot of the Cult Mechanicus artwork and figures and transfers have a lot of mathematic symbols on them.
Yeah,
Greek symbols. A lot of these symbols that are on the Arcanauts may, although they're not like mathematical symbols, you could just like.
Yeah, and they look like something
fine.
that might be on some weird comic
Yeah.
sect, you know. There's a level of eclecticism with all of their with the iconography they use. That's sort of intended with them. The whole idea of them not actually understanding what any of it means, so they just use whatever. But
I mean, they found it in a book that looked important.
yeah. So yeah.
I
Again,
like the Arcanaut, which is wielding what looks like a Gatling gun or a Gatling cannon.
he's quite nice, isn't he?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of quite nice bits. There's
Or the one that looks like it's wielding what looks like a steam-powered spear gun.
I quite like the anchor. That's the anchor axe is quite nice, I think.
Oh yeah.
Again,
Completely impractical, but
yeah, but you know, it's Age of Sigmar on the. I mean, fucking hell, that's yeah. Well,
their beards look very rigid.
yeah, that's as far as 40k conversions go. That might be the main issue. That the beards are better. Don't quite look so 40k. So you may need to get some different heads for them. But either way,
Space Wolf squats.
yeah. I mean, yeah. If you're playing Space Wolves, then probably can just skip that step.
Yeah. Generally, if things have a beard, they in 40k, in my opinion, that they have to basically be Space Wolves just because they have a lore-specific reason to grow out their hair and be kind of unkempt.
Yeah. Let's not start on Space Wolves. That's probably a contentious topic. I don't know. Though, speaking of contentious topics, should we move on to the next section?
Yes, probably.
Alright then. Next up, we have Centurions.
Yeah, Centurion Devastators and why they are the worst product that GW has ever released. I feel that a child wandered into the office, drew something, and then a GW designer came back, looked at the drawing, and said, "Yes, let's do that."
I mean, you know, that was the old Alpha Booster joke. A Space Marine inside of a Space Marine, right?
Yeah, and the flash gets.
Yeah, when Flash Gits were in fact psychic and predicted.
Yeah. It just. I'm looking at it now and I'm just kind of stunned in disbelief at who thought this was a good idea.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems. I feel like the main issue is the legs. They're real stubby.
Yes, also just the fact that the head's kind of poking out a little bit. That makes it look like the Space Brain is just kind of submerged in this.
Yeah, the way the helmets are done, the helmets look weird, but again, those stubby legs. Look at those stubby legs.
Yeah.
They're bulky, but they're also stubby. You know, like the thing with with Dreadnought, like the Boxnaut Dreadnought legs, right? They're stubby, but they're small relative to the size of the Dreadnought. So they're fine. They work. It works for the whole piece. But the Centurion, like, just look at. How does this fucking thing even stand straight?
On top of that, how does it walk properly?
I mean, like, look at the pose for the walking one. What is that? Come on, what is?
It looks like it's about to fall over.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, like some of
Do,
the
do you
parts.
think the Devastators or the Assault Squad is worse?
I gotta think the assault squad is worse, because at least the Devastators, the point would be they're meant to stand still and shoot shit.
Yeah, the drill hands seems wildly impractical.
I mean, yeah, the only way that, like, just because you gotta think these are the slowest things in any fight, right?
Yeah, like even a normal Space Marine in power armor could quite easily dodge out the way of these things.
Yeah.
These slow plodding monstrosities
So I mean, just
with their big stubby legs that are fat.
so the idea, like, the only way this makes sense if they are slowly shuffle up, because the only way they move is like this weird shuffle. You've got to shuffle up to the opponent and just wave their giant robot arms, like fucking just flail them around to hope that they hit the enemy.
The only way I could see this working is against a fortification, and that's where they just stand there and then sort of press their drill arm up against the wall, then just slowly lean against it.
Yeah, jeez, I mean, again, they're like the fighting tanks. That was the thing you mentioned before. Just they just walk up to the tank and just slowly shuffle towards it, arms outstretched in front of them. Just
Yeah.
it's goofy.
While the little tiny man Space Marine sitting inside it is screaming at them.
Jeez, it's just again. There's a few decent like parts of them conversion wise. Like the arms are interesting. The arms I sort of like. I like the idea of the arms. I don't know. I'm not sure about the mittens. Might be. I feel like paint schemes can help to some degree.
Yeah, they're often mittens, right?
Yeah, the oven mitts iffy. I sort of like the way like the way the weapons line up with it. Like if you look at like the heavy weapon attached to the bottom of it, that looks okay. And like
Yeah, I like the design of the drill in that it looks like it's attached to a heavy bolter.
yeah. Yeah.
The worst thing about it is the engine on the back of it, because that has the Adeptus Mechanicus logo on it, and that is a crime.
It's a real heresy there. That's a tech heresy. I mean,
Yeah.
but it's
I
basically
dislike how it looks like someone just like double-sided sticky taped a flamethrower to the gun.
yeah.
It's just
I
kind
mean,
of
it's, yeah, that's a bit iffy, isn't it? It's a bit again. You like if you look at it, a lot of the idea is like this is a dreadnought but a bit smaller, and it's just worse.
It's a worse dreadnought.
Yeah.
It's adjectively worse. Because they don't serve in death. They serve in life. They don't even have an excuse.
They serve in life and then they fucking die.
They don't deserve to be put into a dreadnought after piloting those monstrosities.
I mean, like again, if you look, the best parts of this model are the parts that look like a dreadnought part, and it's
Yeah.
just a case of,
If you're isolating it, I don't mind the chest plate area.
I'm not sure about that. I feel like the shoulder pads are okay. The shoulder pads are okay.
I feel, yeah, isolated, yes, but I feel comparatively they're a bit oversized.
I mean, it's Space Marines. That's the point.
It is Space Marines, but like even more so.
Yeah, I'm thinking in terms of convention. I've seen the shoulder pads used well a lot of times, you know. I've seen some of the arms used okay sometimes. I've seen the backpack used alright because it's just the dreadnought back, only smaller.
Yeah,
But
and worse.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a case of. But I mean, here's the problem. The problem with centurions is people take them anyway because you can take grav centurions, and grav centurions are really overpowered as of the time of
Yes.
recording, 7th edition.
Do
Centurions
the
with
Grav Centurions just use the normal Grav Cannon rules, which gives them rerolls?
Yeah, they've got the grav cannons, they've got the grav amps, they've got the rerolls, and it's just everyone
Unlike
picks them.
the Cult Mech Grav Cannons, which are just...
Yeah, the thing with the cult mech grav cannons is, yes, they can bring tons of grav cannons, but they're on they're ballistic skill 3, aren't they? That's the cataphons, aren't
Yes.
they? Yeah, they're ballistic skill 3.
It can be eased with Canticles and Call now.
Yeah, but even
But,
then, they're but at an average in general, they bring a lot of grav, but they're shit at firing it. They're going to miss by and
Yeah.
large. You need
At,
that much grav
at
to
the end of the
hit
day,
anything.
in a 3-man squad, what's that? Eight. Yeah. So 9 of those are going to hit on average. If we're saying no canticles.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, it's there, but it's with the Grav Centurions. So the problem is they look ugly and everyone takes them. And this is what I was saying earlier. Imagine if instead of releasing Centurions, they'd given a bunch of new items, simply Grav weaponry to Dreadnoughts. That means everyone would be taking Boxnauts these days. And that would be beautiful.
Boxnauts are beautiful.
They are the greatest thing. Boxnauts are the
Yes.
purest thing in this world. Everyone loves Boxnauts. Anyone that doesn't is frankly disgusting. To the one person left listening, if you don't love Boxnauts, stop listening. Stop it now.
No, we need that one person. They need to give money on our Patreon.
On our theoretical Patreon that doesn't exist
Yeah.
yet.
Nobody's on the NOOSPHERE.
Patreon.
Every time you say that, I'm going to have to do another edit. It's a real problem for me, I gotta tell ya.
Yep. Yeah, Boxnauts are incredible. I think a large reason that the head works a bit better is because it's more in the center, where
You know, yeah, well, that's the thing.
whereas in the Centurion it's poking out the top.
Well, that's the thing, because the Boxnaut, it's a coffin attached to a big mech, you know?
Yes.
And that's beautiful, and they're great.
It's quintessential 40k.
Yeah, they're a beautiful thing, and like they're brilliant. They're designed legitimately well. Because if you think about it, because people say, but they'd fall over all the time. No, they wouldn't, because they can fucking spin around. Their top bit can spin around. They can just fucking lift themselves up. That's why most of them have a fucking power fist hand. They can just put their power fist hand on the floor, spin themselves around, and lift themselves back up. Boom, done, easy.
Yeah.
But fucking
Also, all the plates on them, all the beautiful adornings that
Oh, yeah, but again,
specifically the venerable dreadnoughts have.
they look.
Beautiful.
That's the thing, because they're sarcophagus robots, so you can do so much interesting
Yes.
stuff with that. That's just they're beautiful.
All the beautiful adornments and purity seals on it. The AdMech purity seal on the engine.
Yeah, the little Machina Opus Cog Mechanicus on the back. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yes,
It's beautiful.
Beautiful. It's a great design.
Yeah, but no one takes them anymore. They take Centurions instead. Because
And it's a deep shame, and anyone who owns or uses Centurions, they should be put to death.
they should be hard. You know, I feel like the only reason you should buy Centurions is for conversion fodder. Because some of the parts, they got a bit of utility. I can see, you know, there's
I
a versatility.
feel
to them.
that in doing that, you then go on to corrupt other models with the taint
No,
Centurion Devastators.
I mean, I can understand your reasoning for harshness, but I've seen some pretty good models that use some Centurion bits. You know, again that backpack bit, it's a very pretty backpack bit. It's ruined by the overall Centurion. Those cord bits, that connect the guns up, those are so versatile. Those hand bits, I mean, on their own look a bit iffy, but add some filing, add some adornment, and those are some really giant robot arms that you can attach to all sorts of things. So, you know,
Centurion Dreadnoughts are kind of the perfect storm of poor design.
yeah, they're, you know, it's just I feel like it's something that is worse than the sum of its parts, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's got some really bad parts, it's got some decent parts, and the overall piece is bad.
So how about this for a segment? Rating 40k models from worst to best.
I mean, what, all of the 40k models, going through every single one? Not the plan.
Well, we'd skip out the boring ones.
I mean, maybe that should be episode 2. Maybe that's what episode 2 will be, just going through a bunch of 40k models and saying what we think of them.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that'll
I'm
take
laying
a
my
while.
claim now. The worst. Centurion assaults.
Okay, then. Well, that's your preview for episode 2, but
Yeah.
I think that's probably Centurions. I think we've said our
Yeah.
piece for now. That
I feel like in close second it should be the baby carrier.
yeah, I mean that's such a good point. I may have to argue that baby carrier is worse. I don't know, just because
Really?
there's less versatility there. I don't know. because there's the whole thing of that. There's a problem. Every part of that is a problem. To make any part of the baby carrier look good, you have to get out the green stuff. For the centurion, some parts, even if it's just the backpack or just the weapons, they are versatile on their own. But for every part of the baby carrier, you need to work on that to make it look decent.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But yeah, that's a little bit of a preview.
There you go. There's your preview. Tune in next time, whenever that is. Hopefully never.
If this show doesn't get cancelled by our sponsors.
By our sponsors. Me. I am the sponsor. I'm just the person keeping this up. But
yeah. You are providing a platform.
Yeah. But my grand platform of 190 something subscribers. That's the grandest audience this podcast deserves. Too big, frankly, for this podcast today.
Yep. Well, I feel most of your more discerning viewers will see it, and then just kind of mentally block it out and never look at it again.
Hopefully.
And never think about it.
Hopefully.
This podcast really doesn't deserve to be viewed by anyone.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess that brings us on to our next section. Which is, I mean, I've been thinking. Do you know the Hollywood actor Willem Dafoe by any chance?
I've heard of him. Was he the person who played the Green Goblin by any chance?
He is in fact the person that played the Green Goblin in Spider-Man 1, the greatest movie of all time, followed by Spider-Man 2, the second greatest movie of all time. He's famous for having a unique face and a powerful voice. Everyone remembers the line from Spider-Man 1. Join me, Spider-Man, and we can rule Gotham City together. Because it was set in Gotham City, as you may know.
It was. Do you also remember that time when he activated his flying machine to try and spear Spider-Man, but then old Spidey was so devious as to jump out the way, and then as it was zooming towards him, he said, "Oh." He went, "Oh."
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh."
Ow.
There was a lot of deep depth in that line, I feel.
Really?
The movie was really passed over by the Oscars.
Yeah, and it's much like the pieces of was it who was that one artist that did a bunch of shit then died, then everyone loved him after he died? I forget his name. That one. That you know the one. He's a pop culture figure. You know the one I'm talking about, right?
There's lots of people like that. I think.
The painter man, the one who did he was crazy. He cut off his own ear.
Yes, Van Gogh.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Point is, Willem Dafoe is that one of acting, but
Did you ever see the short film he starred in where he couldn't stop smiling?
The smiley man. Yeah,
yes.
I did. It just shows the acting chops of Willem Dafoe. Great, one of the real luminary in the field, frankly,
Yeah, I believe he is really the height of this generation's acting ability, or this century's acting ability.
He might not be the very best, but he's definitely up there, top 3 at least, I'd say.
Yeah, I feel that just the range, the emotion, he can do that.
Really
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I can't quite pull it off. I don't have the acting talent that you do.
I mean, it has been said by many people that I am the greatest impressionist in a 25-mile radius. So I can understand if you can't quite match my ability to the uncanny replication of Willem Dafoe's voice that I can pull off.
No, I would make the assumption that you have, on several occasions, wore a Green Goblin mask and done a Willem Dafoe impression while staring deep into the mirror.
I've never worn the mask, but I have, gone around in public areas and screamed as Willem Dafoe at people a few times, loudly announced that they, as Spider-Man, should join me to rule Gotham City together, No one's taken me up on the offer, to be honest, but one of these days, I'm sure.
And from what I understand about your personal life, this is at about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, generally, that's about right. That's about right. But point is, Willem Dafoe, greatest actor of all time. I've been thinking, and I have a movie pitch idea for him. It's laid on my head. There's no script yet, but it's just an idea, spitballing here, right?
Did it come from a dream? Because all the best ideas come from a dream.
It was inspired by a dream. Let me tell you about this dream. I dreamed of a city of gold, and above it, a giant screaming goblin man. And I realised that that this was a movie, and there was a movie from this dream. So I've said the picture I've got for you is the movie El Dorado. This voice is going to kill me. I haven't even started yet. I am already in pain.
I assume the pure emotion that you're getting from this is causing you to well up now.
El Dorado Bravo is the film.
Right.
In which the star of the film, Willem Dafoe, he plays as something of he's the main character of the film, but he's more like an anti-villain sort of thing. He probably plays an antagonistic role.
Is he like Shadow the Hedgehog?
In many ways, he is like Shadow the Hedgehog. He's very much, he plays an antagonistic role by standard morals, but the audience will root for him, I suspect.
Does he have a tragic backstory to ensure that the audience will root for him? Or
we haven't got onto it yet. Let me go to it. So it starts.
Is it just the pure charisma of Willem Dafoe that makes the audience root for him?
I mean, that's a good part of it. I am banking that they will go in, and as soon as they see his horrifying goblin face, will think I root for him in all aspects, But
that's mostly how I feel when I see Willem Dafoe in any scenario.
I mean, yeah, it's a reasonable thing to do, I suspect. But so the movie begins. It's a black and white. It's all black and white for this first scene, and it's in like this apartment. It's all smoky, very noir.
Okay.
It's got the ceiling fan going. Maybe it's like a motel sort of thing.
Okay, I've got that image in my
the room
mind.
is a mess. There's just trash all strewn across the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And there's in the centre of the camera. This fades into this. The centre of the camera. There's this deck chair sort of thing.
Just to clarify something, is there a bed? Is this like a hotel room?
Yeah, sort of.
Or is this like an office?
It's more hotel room type thing, but like maybe there's like a place that's being used for office.
Is there a bed in there for which Willem Dafoe can sleep?
Maybe off camera, like maybe you see a bit of a corner because it's zooming in on this. But the point is, in the deck chair is sitting. Played by famed Hollywood actor Willem Dafoe.
Mm-hmm. He's my favourite actor, really.
Yeah, we have our story's main character, William Dafoe.
I love this. This is a great sort of cold open.
And it's zooming in, and he's sort of like, his eyes are open, but he's sort of like, his head's like to the side, and he's like, maybe he's like dribbling a bit out of the side of his cheek.
Is it a bit sort of glazed over? His eyes, they're all sort of...
he's got a bit of 1,000 yards there, sort of thing,
I feel Willem Dafoe could easily play that.
Yeah. Like he's got a bit of like scruffy sort of beard type thing. His hair's very messy, a bit long, longer than you normally see him with, and it's very like it's again messy, and He's wearing like
I'm
a tattered
also sure
suit.
that previous to the movie coming out, he could go on talk shows and say, I grew my hair out in order to maintain character.
Yeah, of course. And he's wearing like a tattered suit, and he's wearing a tattered suit like on his top half, and he's wearing shorts with too many pockets in the shorts, and socks and sandals. So he's got the variation in costumes. So you have this picture in your head, right?
Yeah.
And the socks and the sandals are like way up. They're up above his knees,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rolled right up as far as I can go. Like stretched a bit, sort of, yeah. And
Yeah.
and again,
Are they like sports socks? Or are they just normal socks that have been stretched to their breaking point?
stretched to the breaking point, like maybe there's some tears in them, like. And it's hard to tell too much because again, it's all black and white and it's quite smoky in the room, and it's just zooming in on his face, on his horrifying goblin face, and like he slowly like sort of tilts his head up and like towards the camera. He looks dead in the camera, and he says, "I once ruled El Dorado." Hard cut.
Okay. Is he now was he looking at the camera? Was he still staring off in a trance almost?
He was looking at the camera. He was dead on the camera, staring directly
right at it. Was the camera still zooming in?
Yeah.
Did it zoom into his eye and then it cut? Because it should have done
It gets
that.
a little bit too close to his face before it does the hard cut. Like it goes.
Is it in a wide angle lens?
No, it's a very narrow angle lens. So you're sort of like it's missing the side of his head. It's going like it's sort of focusing between his eyes. It looks a bit like again a bit too zoomed in, but not.
I mean, you're trying to
like
create an eerie tone for the audience to set them up
exactly
for what is about to
make
come.
them uncomfortable. But again, hard cut. So it cuts to this grand sight. The City of Gold, El Dorado. Do you know of El Dorado, the City of Gold? Historically?
I have played the first Uncharted game, so yes.
Alright, yeah, again, El Dorado, it's beautiful. Imagine in Dark Souls 1, where you are lifted up by the demons and see Anor Londo before you. It's like that shot, only everything's gold.
Okay. Is this CGI or is this real gold?
All practical effects, of course, all practical effects.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, I don't know about budgeting, it might have to be done in yellow paint, but don't worry,
I do have quite a big pot of Retributor armor here if you want to borrow it.
Okay then, that might help. We might be able to get, like, from the angle that we're showing, we'll get as much of it gold as possible.
Yeah.
But don't worry, because there'll be a little
You just
annotation.
have to make sure to put some Agrax Earthshade over
Oh
it.
yeah, of course. Always use your Agrax Earthshade. But drink up, kids.
Yep.
But there'll be a caption either way that says El Dorado, the City of Gold, and it's doing like this big thing. And it starts panning over.
Is it going to be Willem Dafoe providing the vocals for the or is it going to be?
No, it won't be because
anonymous
it's going
person?
to go back. And then it starts zooming. It starts rushing in, like very quickly, and you start like seeing like you see Native Americans all making their lives. They're doing all sorts of stuff. They're driving gold cars. They're building gold houses. They're juggling gold bars. You get the idea.
Yeah, are they smelting gold in a gold furnace?
Yeah, they're
Made of gold.
They're wearing gold clothes, gold hats. Everything is gold here.
Yep.
Again, might have to be tissue paper painted yellow. We'll see. Depends on the budget.
Yeah.
Point is,
I feel that as soon as you say Willem Dafoe, investors will jump on it because he is the hottest talent of our time.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
we'll see.
He's very popular with the kids.
Again,
Willem Dafoe.
it's scalable. You know, these plans are scalable. We could do this with a budget of essentially nothing. We could do it with a budget of billions. It doesn't matter. We can go whatever you need. You know, whatever circumstance demands. So the point is, it's panning in. It's like it slows down for a bit. You know, to show all these aspects of El Dorado, the magical city of gold, and then it zooms right in. And there's this big grand golden pyramid, and it goes to the base, and the camera starts zooming up the golden pyramid, and it reaches the top, and there's a throne atop the golden pyramid. And
here's an idea: you keep it in black and white.
Maybe.
So
Maybe.
But it's very scalable budgetary.
If we end up with a budget of literally nothing, then it'll still be black and white. If not, then it's all gold.
In post-production, just put like a sparkle.
We might add like a yellow filter. That might be how it's done. We'll see. It might just be black and white, but with a yellow filter over it.
What, like a yellow hue?
Yeah, just everything's. Point is, it'll be the city of gold. Don't worry about how we'll make it the city of gold. It will be the city of gold. So on this phone, you have Willem Dafoe again, in the same outfit, the same clothes, the same position.
Are these socks in the same position?
Exactly the same. Only the socks are now gold.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's. And he lifts his head up and he looks to the Native American man to his side. And I can't do the Native American man's voice because that would be racist, and we are not the redemptionists here. We're not allowed to do that.
We are a family-friendly podcast.
We are a family-friendly podcast, so therefore this Native American man will be played by a white person, a British person, very much like this, and he may be in Goldface.
Yes, as gold is not a race, then we should be able to get away.
Yeah,
with that.
you know Goldust the wrestler.
I do know Goldust. I do know Goldust the wrestler. Yes.
All of the Native American characters are going to be in Goldust makeup. They're going to be white people from around Britain. You know, some of them for Londoners, some of them from some Northerners, some Southerners. They're going to be. Some Scottish people, a few Irish, but they're going to all be
Should they all
Goldust.
speak in a Cockney accent?
All British accents, all sorts of British accents, you know. Point is, all in Goldust makeup. Probably
Will they have the same mannerisms as Goldust, or is that?
No. But done in the exactly the same style. You know, you've got like the fire effects and stuff. You've got like all different sort of like the many different ways the Goldust makeup is done. That's how it's done.
The interesting different styles.
The decals of the black and gold.
Yes.
Yeah. Point is, so he says, all right. Willem Dafoe, what we got. Do because this one is that's his authentic Native American accent, and Willem Dafoe says, "More gold," and then it does like to a montage of more gold being like it goes to like mines, and the mines are made of gold, and you've got these gold dust painted rich people coming up carrying great bars of gold, because that's how you get gold from the ground, of course. In bars you find them, and they're sourcing more gold, and it's magical.
Where does all this gold come from? Is that revealed in the movie, or is that
from the ground, from the gold mines? You know, they just it's pulled up. They come out in bars of gold from the gold mines.
Is there just so much of it?
Again, that's the point of this scene, to show they're from the mines that are made of gold. These people in gold dust makeup come and they bring up the bars of gold. It's just that's the explanation. Yeah.
I have to ask: are the clothes made of a flake gold material, or are they just rigid gold?
Rigid gold.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, not assembled like plate armor, assembled like regular clothes, not like Native American clothes, like regular like t-shirts, gold t-shirts.
Yes.
Yeah. So
if one kind of moves like the characters in Minecraft.
Roundabout, it's a little bit like that.
Yeah.
So it does that, and, it's sort of there's sort of like a montage type thing, showing like thinking you get Sir David Attenborough, and he'll be
Yes.
narrating
Okay.
narrating. This is how the people of El Dorado build their, and showing like this gold being taken to the gold refineries where the gold bars are refined into gold bars. How it's then, smelted down and turned into these gold houses and gold t-shirts, and, you get the idea of it, and it's like, it's montage of how the gold goes through, and then, like, by the end of it, it's like, there's one gold coin left that hasn't been used up, and that is, and then, there's this, like, this little boy, dressed in the gold dust makeup, and you see him, he's got this gold coin in his hands, and he's running up the pyramid, and he says, William Darfoo, we have this for you. Thank you for being our great leader, William Darfoo. And Willem, as William Darfoo says, yes, give it to me. and the boy does.
Is this a dictatorship?
It is. There's autocratic rule. He is the ruler of this place.
Okay.
And the boy hands him the gold, and the William Darfoo sits up a bit and like puts it under his bum because he's just sitting, and it reveals he's sitting on lots of gold coins, like 5 gold coins.
In the style of like a dragon, sort of like how a dragon would hold treasure.
More like a chair that's just got a bunch of pound coins painted gold, but
Okay. Yes. Okay.
yeah. So. That's to say, people in America don't have coins, do they? They're not going to understand this. Like quarters.
Yes,
they've got quarters,
they have,
don't they?
Yeah, they. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
like
they
a
have,
bunch
they
of
have money, they
quarters
have
painted
pennies.
gold. Yeah.
Right.
Or,
Also, where are you going to find the budget to hire both Willem Dafoe and David Attenborough?
Don't worry about it. We've got ways and means. I'm not saying tax evasion, but
Okay.
So it's.
Are you going to blackmail them?
I'm not saying that we've been shipping people out of Mexico, but point is, so it shows that scene of the many gold coins beneath Willem Dafoe's chair, making it very comfortable, and then it cuts. And you've got this explorer type character cutting through the wilderness of the American jungle.
Okay.
He's hacking at vines. This is from it's done the way we can't see his face. It's always like a leaf or a vine under his face. You don't know who he is. But it's sort of that classic sort of Indiana Jones type look.
Yeah, I was thinking, is it like the intro to the first one, the Ark of the Covenant?
Yeah, this is sort of very much. It is. He's hanging through vines. He's got like a team with him, a team of explorers, but he's very much focused on this leader guy. And he's hacking through, and he's like, and there's murmurings, but you can't make out any voices. It's not clear. Like maybe you hear another guy that's saying, I found a thing or whatever. It doesn't matter. Point is, again, lots of murmurings that you can't hear. You can't make out who's who, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes like on scene. You see like this big sort of leaf, and it gets hacked down, and like everything behind is illuminated with gold, and you see the explorer man, and he's played. And this is an interesting cast role. I thought about this a lot, and I thought long and hard, and I thought there's only one man who could play this role. It's Brendan Fraser.
He has the experience from the Mummy series.
He does. He's got the experience, and that's what we need here. We need someone who's an expert in finding pyramids, like this golden pyramid in El Dorado. For the film El Dorado something, whatever it was called, I don't remember anymore.
I should
El Dorado
clarify, because this whole time I've been imagining El Dorado being underground.
No, it's on the surface. It's just some trees around it, so no one noticed before. But Brendan.
Okay, so it's well hidden by
some trees,
thick foliage.
Not
it's not
just
even
some
thick
trees,
foliage. Just a couple.
Just some trees, But point is, you've got Brendan Fraser there, and he says, "Oh, we've found it. I'm Brendan Fraser, but not 'cause I'm an explorer man called Brendan Fraser, not the actor one, an explorer one this time, called Brendan Fraser." And a big cheer was let out by the exploration team.
So, does Brendan Fraser exist in this universe?
I'd assume so. Just an explorer man who happens to also be called Brendan Fraser, you know.
Right.
Who also looks exactly
And
like
look
Brendan
like
Fraser.
him.
And sounds exactly like Brendan Fraser, because that's how Brendan Fraser sounds, if you want to know.
Yeah.
So, and they make off running towards El Dorado, the city of gold, you know? And it's just like this scene, like it shows, and like from the back, like this whole team running towards El Dorado, like doing some like happy music, but then it goes like, brrr. See, it's going to be sinister. Something sinister is going to happen. And you see back to William Dafoe. There's a man dressed up as gold dust comes and says to him, "There's been some invading people coming up down to explore place land, El Dorado." Don't worry about that voice. That's a normal voice. That's how people sound. Don't worry. And
I can tell you are a professional actor.
professional voice actor. I got a YouTube channel. You know, I'm internet famous. 194 subscribers. And they say, and Ron Dafoe says, "Wait. And then I die. No. And then he says, "Take me to them, or bring them to me, or something. I don't know." And then it cuts back to Brendan Fraser, and
What? Just another hard cut? What kind of transition are we talking?
like a screen wipe, you know, like the Star Wars style screen wipe, and
What, like the prequels?
something like that. I don't know. I'm dying. It's so fucking hot.
You need
Jeez.
to survive. This podcast needs
Why
to
did
happen.
it get so fucking hot? 1 second. It's fucking warm. It's getting to fucking summer. God damn it. So
This is
hot.
great. This is great
It's a
content.
great video. You know, there's maybe a scene with one of the goalless people saying, "Oh God, it's so fucking hot. Why is it so fucking hot?" And the guy says, "Because you're wearing gold clothes, and it's South America, and it's yeah." It's very clearly clarified why it is in fact so fucking hot. This is a mature movie, rated M.
I mean, I'm not a science expert, but from what I understand, it would reflect the heat.
Yeah. Point is, it cuts and a bunch of gold dust looking people ambush. Okay, Brendan Fraser's exploration party. And it's again like in Star Wars where they're all caught up in nets. And Brendan Fraser says, "Oh fuck, I've been caught into net. Oh shit." And then, you know,
A very emotional scene.
very emotional. It's a real tearjerker. And then the nets, you know, they're dragged through El Dorado, the city of gold, and we see it. It's much like the introduction again, only now it's a dark reflection of the introductory pan, where they all
I
look
would make
evil
the
and snarly.
assumption that the nets are made of gold,
Yeah, they are. You know, gold nets.
just rigid gold.
Yeah, rigid gold. Point is, so you know, it's the dark reflection. All of the gold now seems to mirror a dark, shadowy, and they're all the people there, instead of being happy and throwing blocks of gold with catch, they now look evil, and they've got gold knives and swords and gold bows and yeah.
At this point, should you put another pot of Agrax over it?
Yeah.
Just to make it a bit darker.
Yeah, you know, another layer of Agrax food is applied before the scene is shot. And they're dragged up the staircase of the pyramid, and there's a long scene, much in a Passion of the Christ-esque scene, where Brendan Fraser is dragged up the pyramid and bumps on every step and goes, "Oh, fuck," at every step. And this goes on for about 30 minutes. This scene, there's no cut for that scene. It's the whole 30 minutes of dragging him up the whole step. And there's, a few
I would
times...
assume because Brandon Fraser is such a method actor that he would insist that he takes all these bumps himself.
Yeah, of course he would. And, there'd be a few times where, the gold dust dressed people would stop and just so fucking heavy. What are we doing? We're not getting paid enough for this shit.
Would there be a point where he accidentally sort of slips out of the rigid net and he sort of rolls back down the stairs?
Yeah.
sort of in like, if you've ever seen the episode of The Simpsons where Homer's skateboarding over a cliff, just sort of like repeated pratfalls.
Yeah.
On the part of Brendan Fraser.
Come to think of it, actually, this scene is an hour long scene, a whole fucking hour long.
And do they eventually call more warriors over to assist in dragging him up in the rigid
more
net?
warriors are called. At this point, over the course of this, they discard the rest of the exploration party. It's past one of the gold dust looking people and says, "Fuck it, leave the rest of them. I'm not getting paid enough to do
Eventually,
this
do
fucking
the
job."
other members of his team start assisting them in carrying Brendan Fraser up the stairs?
Maybe like one of them actually says, "Oh, I'll fucking help, whatever. Just get this bullshit over with." Right? That's the scene. But point is, eventually.
Also, I just a quick. I don't wish to criticise your masterpiece, but I'm starting to question the practicality of gold knives and other gold weaponry. Gold is quite a soft metal, so I find it hard to believe that.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. Okay.
It's fine. Would it be possible to maybe write an appendix in to say, yeah, but this gold's quite strong?
Yeah.
This is tough gold.
Hold on, we're gonna get to that point. Don't worry.
Okay.
So eventually he gets up the stairs, and it's just, Brendan Fraser from this sort of, again, I say cage, more of like a spherical, off-sphere, like a cage of gold, because it's all rigid, so,
Is Brendan Fraser at this point beaten, bruised, bloody?
Yeah.
He's got sort of like gold smudges on him.
Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like this has just been painted with Games Workshop paint to make it all look gold.
At some point the paint starts to rub off of the
Yeah, But
bricks.
But point is, he's up on top of the pyramid, and Willem Dafoe's up there and says, "Yeah, who do we?" My fucking voice. I can't fucking do this. "Who have we got here?" And Brendan Fraser says, "Oh, fuck, I'm Brendan Fraser of the exploration team. Where have my friends gone? What?"
But at this point, does he sound borderline mentally disabled because of the bumps he's been taking?
Maybe a little bit, a little bit like it's a little bit of that.
Do they splash gold water on him to recuperate him?
Willem Dafoe says, "This man's delirious. He needs some refreshment." And they hand him a glass of gold. Yeah.
Which is in reality just the paint water.
Yeah, it's just paint water. Yeah, exactly. But drink your paint water, kids. That's our Warhammer painting tip for you.
Yep, that I feel like that's a Duncan's favourite tip.
Yeah, always drink your paint water. So.
Yep. It makes you paint better. It makes sense.
Exactly. You get the skill of the paint. So, point is, Willem Dafoe says, "How dare you invade El Dorado City?" And Brendan Fraser says, God, my fucking voice, I forgot how painful this. Sorry.
What is that? Is that what he says?
No, I mean, maybe there's an accidental cut of just like a blank screen of me recorded saying that. Point is,
I think mid-film Brendan Fraser should break character and start shouting at the director, which would of course be you.
Yeah.
It's just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, that's
what is this?
That's a scene, goes on for like 5 minutes somewhere in here. Point is, Brendan Brendan Fraser says
I used to be in The Mummy, you son of a bitch.
he isn't in fucking anything these days. He can do with the work. So that's how that's the resolution to that scene. Point is. So Brendan Fraser says, "What?" And then Willem Dafoe says, "I'm gonna have you killed." Yeah.
You just found Brendan Fraser out on the street with a sign saying "We'll clap for food."
Yeah. There's so much pain. So next is
Is that what Brendan Fraser says?
no. I mean maybe. Point is,
So
shut up.
just mid-movie, he just says so much pain.
Let me get on with it. I need to finish this scene before I die. So Brendan Fraser says, "You forget one thing, William Dafoe." Don't worry, he knows his name. He's figured it out. It worked out 'cause he's a genius. Gold is a soft metal, and then he kicks out of the gold net cage.
Oh, you did actually address
I
it.
address it. That's the plot twist. And
Wow.
and he punches William Dafoe in the face, and then it hard
Is
cut.
this a modern age, the Emperor has no clothes tale?
Perhaps. So he punches William Dafoe in the face, and it goes like slow motion. It's like I'm thinking, "Sweet Dreams Are Made of This" is the song
Yeah.
that
Does
plays.
he have sort of like gold teeth that fly out?
Yeah, it's like it goes like super slow motion. Like, "Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disser?" Well, just like a gold tooth is flying across the screen. It's like it does like this like pan over to like this gold dust looking Native American with like a shocked face, and like just pan around to like the rippling muscles in Brendan Fraser's
Yeah.
arm, and it like pans down across Willem
I
Dafoe.
feel first off though, if I'm to keep consistency, the first punch he should miss because
Oh yeah, he
is so
Yeah,
delirious.
he misses one. That's in slow motion too. But then with the song playing, but the second punch it hits.
You sort of do that technique in a lot of movies nowadays where you sort of like speed up then slow back down.
Exactly. Yeah, you.
So like he does the punch in slow motion, comes to the end, speeds up, then
yeah.
then like the other punch.
You know how
hits
this shot's
Willem
gonna go.
Dafoe.
And then it starts zooming in on that gold tooth. And and you see like the gold tooth flying through the air. It's flying it bounces down the stairs, all the way down the stairs.
Right, but I assume these would be the stairs on the back of the pyramid.
Yeah. And this is still in slow motion, so it takes like 20 minutes. Maybe
Yeah.
like
Do you see the gold tooth sort of like deform?
a little bit. Yeah,
Going
again,
into-
super slow motion. It takes probably closer to 40 minutes or so. And once it
Yeah,
reaches,
because this is like a frame a second.
yeah, essentially, and it eventually it falls into a pool of liquid gold, and then hard cut, and it's back
Okay.
to the first scene in black and white with Willem Dafoe in the motel room on the deck chair, and then he says, "That's how I lost El Dorado." And then the credits roll. Oh god, I'm in so much pain.
Right.
Dying.
Is the assumption there that Brendan Fraser is the new Gold King?
It's up for interpretation. Like
Is
it's like
is
in
there
Blade
going
Runner.
to be a sequel where it's the exact same events taking place, but now Willem Dafoe is the explorer?
It's like Blade Runner. You never know if Harrison Ford's character was an android or not.
Right.
And eventually, like a few decades later, they'll do a remake where Brendan Fraser's an old man, and it doesn't really make sense. But point is,
I think you should have a scene. The last scene should be Willem Dafoe staring into a mirror. It's still black and white, right? He spits blood into the sink, but the blood is gold coloured, and everything else is still black and white.
maybe. But yeah, that's. Jeez, I forgot how fucking painful that voice was. Oh god, I haven't done it in a long time. So
I feel that you're sacrificing for your art, which is very commendable.
I am, truly. So what's the next bit? You talking about the chromasticators? Fucking take
Yes.
charge. This scene's got to
the
be like
chrom-
20 minutes for my voice to recover. I'm gonna go get some more water. You're in
Yeah,
charge
do
now.
you want me to sort of cover for you
Yeah,
while
yeah,
you
cover.
you recuperate?
Yeah, you start
Okay,
talking about chromasticators. I'll be back.
Basically, the Chromasticators is the worst thing Magos has ever done. There's to be fair, there's quite stiff competition there with all the other content that he has shat onto this planet, onto YouTube. But the Chromasticators is the worst. Is the worst thing he's done. It's just absolute trash. It's really just a disorganized mess of loads of different voices. No one knows what's really happening.
The issue is no
it's
one knows
kind of-
who's who, because there's a few people with a distinctive personality. Like I think
Yeah,
I come
well,
across quite well. There's like Clag. He sort of got his whole like discount munchie thing, and
the Chromasticators is the equivalent of being repeatedly hit in the face
essentially.
by a large man named Steve around the back of Tesco.
Any relation to you? Tech Priest Steve? Was this just?
That was actually just a random name that I
No,
thought up.
alright.
It turns out that Steve is a good generic name.
Yeah.
But I feel that you should be deeply ashamed of the Chromasticators.
Oh, I am. Don't ever doubt that isn't my probably third greatest sin.
Yes, I do quite like that if you click on channels on your page, it does not list the Chromasticators channel,
The idea
which
of
is a
the,
good thing.
the idea of the channel section is that I list, inspirations, people that I think, other people should be watching. I've got the Endless Jess, who is my favourite guy on YouTube. The best there is, frankly. I got Digital After Dark.
I
who's sort of
appreciate
like
the Super Bunny Hop
Yeah.
subscription.
I've got Digital After Dark, sort of like my go-to guy. I agree with a lot of what he says. Super Bunny Hop, he's just great. He's really advancing as far as like video gaming YouTube goes. He's really the front runner there.
He is very good at mispronouncing words.
His word pronunciation leaves a lot to be desired, but
Yes,
he's still doing it.
and a prime example of that would be from his For Honor video, where instead of saying stuck in a rut, he said stuck in a runt.
Yeah, I remember.
And also just completely mispronouncing a lot of things, which pains me.
Yeah.
He also liked Metal Gear Solid 5. Which shows...
his review was more balanced than everyone else's, so I
Yeah,
get it.
Metal Gear Solid 5 was absolute trash.
Yeah, okay, okay, so yeah, he's okay. I've got Flintrat films. They're a ton of fun. Deserve way more attention. I've got Give and Take. He's just a weird guy. That channel's it's the same channel. I like what it does. It's funny. But
I'm going to say this now. The Double Dog Dare video is 100 times better than the Chromasticators in every way.
Oh, of course, yeah. But yeah, that's the real point. Chromasticators, they don't deserve to be there. They're trash. They're garbage. They're the worst thing. Get out of here. Hate them all.
Do you still actively do that? Do you still actively go on that podcast?
Just today actually, I believe. Maybe
Right,
yesterday it was
right, 'cause
uploaded.
I completely stopped watching it after the first episode.
Yeah, the Faux Shit cast got uploaded today. Don't listen to it. It's literally the worst thing. Don't. It's bad. So, really the Chromasticators. It's a real. It's just a mistake. That's what it is. It's a testament to making a mistake, to getting yourself in something that you didn't ever really want to, but now social pressure.
I
forcing
like
you to
the
do
fact that it has a wrestler on the channel banner.
It does. It has Raven. What about
Yeah.
him? What about Raven?
It's a little bit strange that it's a wrestler called Raven on the Chromasticators podcast.
It's because of the song that was the introduction for the pilot episode only, because that's the only one that I edited, therefore the only good one.
Right, I think I've just sort of mentally blocked that out.
Actually, did episode 2 have that? Episode 2 might have, because I did episode 2 as well. But let's see. Is it good?
Episode 2 was a 5-minute thing, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, episode 2 also had that. So yeah, all the ones that I've edited that aren't the Faux Shit cast have the award-winning song "Ravens and Crows." Therefore, ravens are related. What about me?
Yes, they are.
What about
They are
Raven?
corvids.
Yeah.
Is Raven going to be a fantastic segue to the next segment?
Turns out, Turns out he is, because our next segment is wrestling.
I would like to preface this. I'm going to send you an image. I would like you to display this image for the rest of this segment.
Oh boy, more editing. Great. You'll send it over.
Give me a minute.
Great video, by the way. Great video here.
I saved this in a deep dark corner of my computer.
Yeah. Glad you didn't find it in advance or before, start saying I've got an image to send you.
Well, I did actually find it I did actually download it in advance.
No, I'm glad you you went and made sure that you had it ready just so you could send it right away, so there wouldn't be any downtime, Because that's always the worst thing in podcasts. You don't want downtime. You don't want the in between.
Well, I downloaded it, but I didn't actually know where I downloaded it, so I had to sort of look for it there. There it is.
That's a lovely shirt, I've got to say.
It's a great shirt.
That's really something special.
It's a great shirt.
Yeah. Okay, so wrestling. I mean, you should take the lead in this, because I feel like you've probably got, you're more up to date on this. My wrestling knowledge, it's a lot of it's secondhand, a lot of sort of the bootleg, just looking up it after the fact, So you should probably take the lead. So feel free.
Yeah. So the big news coming out of SmackDown Live this past Tuesday night was that Jinder Mahal, former member of the three-man band, which is now the number one contender for the World Championship title. He's going to have a match at the next SmackDown pay-per-view against Randy Orton for the World Championship. He won the number one contenders match in a dirty finish, it would be suffice to say, where...
So, is he the heel coming in on this, then, in that case?
He's the heel.
Oh, right. So that's interesting. I mean...
There's people...
you go ahead.
Basically, the Bollywood boys, who are assumed to be associated with him, grabbed the legs of Sami Zayn as he was about to hit his finisher on Jinder.
Now that's interesting, see, because this is he's with the I guess new starting feud would be him and Orton. The interesting there is because Orton's already in a feud, of course, with Bray Wyatt, and he has been since Elimination Chamber, a little bit before that. Actually.
Right, that feud is going to end at the next pay-per-view.
Is that what's going? In that case, I mean, well, I guess this is leaning towards what's going to be my main input, which is I'm going to talk about Bray Wyatt for a while, but
technically, he may never get this match, because if Bray wins, then the belt is going to go to Raw.
Oh boy, that would be exciting.
Yeah,
that would be pretty funny.
But Bray's not going to win because he's a jobber.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, do you want to start talking about? Is there anything else you want to get out the way before I start talking about Bray? Because this could go on for.
Just quickly, do you know about the stipulation for this match that they're having?
I do not.
It's called a House of Horrors match.
Oh yeah, I remember the name. Yeah. So.
Yeah, no one knows what it is. It's probably just going to be Bray doing things that aren't actually spooky, but WWE's like, oh, it's spooky.
Yeah,
PG.
What?
Yeah. Did you see the WrestleMania match where he made cockroaches appear in the ring?
I saw that there were maggots, then there were worms, and there were cockroaches. And
yeah, it was kind of the worst thing ever.
I mean, the time it was for maggots, it was kind of cool. The time it was for worms, it was like, okay. The time it was for cockroaches,
so I was trying to think about it logically, and at the time where he did the first one, Randy Orton was kind of like trying to get up, but because of how it was projected from down up, he wouldn't have known anything was different because he was looking straight down.
Yeah.
But yeah. Would I be right in saying that Bray is your boy?
Okay, so let me tell you the story. I got into wrestling, like I'd always for a long time I've had a passing sort of interest in it. I got the idea of it. I understood the appeal of it, but there was never really an in for me. Like as far as like modern wrestling goes, I'd always I'd got the older guys like what's his name? Randy Savage, he was always I very much
the Macho Man.
The Macho Man, Randy Savage. Cream of the crop, Randy Savage.
Yep.
I was always very much like
points finger at ceiling.
Yeah, but for the new stuff, there was never really a way to penetrate that for me. To my starting ground. And for me, that ended up being very wide, because I saw him and I thought, wow, he's doing such an interesting thing. He's doing the spooky sort of thing, you know. I mean,
Are you a mark for Bray Wyatt?
essentially. Again, let's get into it. Let me tell the story. So, you know, I thought,
Did you
wow,
see Bray in NXT? Did you see Bray in NXT?
I did, yes. Again, let me get into the story. So, I saw some of his stuff on YouTube. I thought, wow, this guy's doing this spooky stuff. And I mean, if you've seen my channel, yeah, some of the not Warhammer related stuff, you know, I'm into that sort of the spooky sort of that style of thing. Not outright like scary, like jump scare type stuff, but stuff that's spooky, you know. And that seemed to be to me like, wow, this guy's doing that. And I saw, you know, his old NXT stuff, and he was doing that great sort of all the Southern Gothic spooky type shit. And it was this, like, if you watch some of his old NXT matches, the way he wrestled, it wasn't a case of, like, it was just a case of he'd mock the other person for a while, essentially, like, weird spook them, and then he'd just come in and he'd just destroy them, and they had no chance, and it was just this amazing sort of thing, you know?
Yeah. Because back in those days, he was booked to be spooky, but he could back up the spooks.
Yeah, he was a monster, that was the whole thing. He was this horrifying sort of thing you just didn't know how to deal with.
There was a legitimate threat there.
Yeah, it was just like, again, that's why he was scary, because he was saying all this crazy shit, and then once he came to the match, he just fucking annihilated everything. No
I'm going to say that there are decent parallels between Bray Wyatt and Kane.
Yeah, to a degree. Again, it's very much, again, that's part of why I like, because he was doing that kayfabe thing, you know, there's all the, I guess, but I feel like, you know, there's the sort of period where the kayfabe sort of became a secondary thing, you know. Sort of, I mean, CM Punk very much popularised it, where the narrative was meta. That was the kayfabe, was to be meta about it. But I mean, even before that, before him, it was sort of becoming a thing, right? And but very well, he was very much full kayfabe, but to a degree of understanding it, and in a way that sort of worked. And then he got up to WWE. And he was still doing the spooky stuff, but he started losing a lot. And by that I mean, every time he would just
he became the spooky jobber.
He would just lose to everyone. So he would talk all this spooky shit, and then he would lose. And the effect of that is it just means he doesn't sound spooky anymore, he just sounds like a retard that's speaking rubbish.
Yeah, I'm gonna say his promos in NXT were so much better because they had a point.
They were. They went. There was a consistent style. It seems like he doesn't even seem to realise what made it good anymore. Either way, let's get a bit ahead of ourselves. So, I mean, I feel like this came to a head with his match at Mania with The Undertaker. I feel like that was his chance to redeem himself. You know, that was a chance to. That was originally apparently the idea of it was that Taker was going to lose, and it was going to be like a passing of the torch of the head spooky guy.
The issue is that he was booked to be such a jobber.
The issue is that he lost that match to the old man Taker.
Before that, if he had won it, it would have made no sense because he was a jobber.
Yeah, again, there's the thing. It should have been like he won that, and now he becomes a powerful thing because now he is the spooky man, the true spooky man.
Yeah, he has trumped the former spooky man.
Yeah, but he didn't trump the spooky man. He lost to the old spooky man, and
who rocks up to WrestleMania every year and gets concussed.
Fucking and puts on that fucking match with Roman. But let's not talk about that. So and he's kept losing hits, and you know there was, but I mean even his promos have just become these meandering nonsense things that make no sense. I mean, he's not even fucking talking about anything at this point. Just, I am a god. What? No, you're not a god. Doesn't make any sense. What are you fucking talking about, you moron? That's just fucking...
His promos at this point may as well be boiled down to, I am Spooky Man. I will kill you because I am Spooky Man.
It's you know, there was almost, because that was the thing, it was the Elimination Chamber. That was, he was doing his feud with Orton, and it was kind of shitty, but whatever. He was doing some interesting stuff with Harper. Harper's cool, right? But then in the Elimination Chamber, he won that, and he took the title. And, you know, he beat Cena, he beat all these like really big guys. So wow, maybe Bray is finally getting his shot. You know. Then WrestleMania rolls around. And it's okay. So Bray's the spooky man. You know, he's just had a power up as well. He's had a power up because he's absorbed the soul of Sister Abigail. So he should be his most powerful ever, and he just loses quickly. He loses quickly, and the only interesting thing he does is he projects maggots onto the thing,
and worms.
and worms, and cockroaches.
And the commentator was just like, "Oh my god!"
Oh god, what's it? Fucking Cole was going crazy, but
God, Cole.
Cole, greatest commentator of all time, Cole. And
He's able to say a lot. Well, he's able to say nothing while speaking a lot.
a lot of words with shocking lack of meaning, but
Yeah.
oh well.
I miss what's it called Morrow Manal. The SmackDown commentator who left.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you know, maybe JB will do some more stuff with them now because he's friendly with them again. So you know, we all love JB. So no. Point is,
My favourite ever segment was JBL kicking out immigrants.
yeah. But so point is fucking now Bray Wyatt fucking they did a thing where it was fucking like now Luke Harper went on side of Randy Orton and Eric Rowan was on side of Bray Wyatt, and Eric Rowan's the coolest thing ever. Eric Rowan's the only cool thing left as far as the Wyatt shit goes. You know, Eric Rowan's cool. If you go to his YouTube channel, if you've seen his YouTube channel, then you'll know I was pretty inspired by that for some of my my more recent spooky videos. You know. But now that
I've seen some of his
but now
videos.
with the split, fucking Luke and Rowan are on the other show. They're on fucking Team Other Colour to Bray, and I don't even fucking and Bray is doing a House of Horrors match. Maybe the House of Horrors match will be good at this point. Just come on, Whitey, what are you doing to me?
Chances are it's just going to be more of what we saw at Mania, which is just. They're trying to say this is spooky, but it's
But
just
it's PG,
cringy.
so they're not allowed to make anything actually scary. So yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, fucking whatever. Bring back the scarecrows. Maybe if they're just an army of the fucking scarecrows from his WrestleMania entrance. Remember that? Remember the scarecrows? That was the coolest thing.
Yeah. That one.
Just have a bunch of scarecrows. Now that he's lost the family, just have a family of scarecrows to fucking
Bray should
murder
have a
Randy.
family with him.
Just have them. Oh, so go.
Bray should have a family with him.
Yeah, just have a family of scarecrows that just come out and murder Randy Orton live on air. Just tear him to shreds and leave him bleeding in many pieces.
How do you feel about Luke Harper?
Luke Harper is a very good wrestler, and his interesting idea just maybe try and develop that at all. You know. His character he's the other Bray Wyatt family member guy, because there's Eric Rowan, who's the scary mask man. There was Braun Strowman, who was the big scary mask man, and there's Eric Rowan, who's
he had a black mask.
Yeah, the black sheep, and there's Luke Harper, who's the other one, who doesn't wear a mask.
The shame is that he's a fantastic wrestler. He's really
Again,
good.
yeah, he's very skilled, but I feel like if you listen to the interview stuff he's done, he seems like he's too polite. He seems like he's not the sort that's going to try and push himself over. So, like, I get it, but hopefully now with him being separated from Bray, he'll have opportunity to actually develop his own character as a thing. Right?
Yeah. One of the big issues is that those characters are so connected with the Bray Wyatt character that they just kind of can't be their own.
Well, there's the thing. I feel like Rowan could do something with that. You know, there was a little bit where he did some stuff with, like, there was that one mention he had like a genius level IQ type thing that was cool. And if you look at those spooky videos on his channel, he's clearly got like some good ideas because he's the one who planned those out. So he clearly knows, like, he has some ideas. There are directions you can go with that. Again, it needs more, but there are directions you can go. So Luke Harper, like, there's not really a starting block. He needs to begin and do something with that.
Did you ever see that video I was talking about of Braun Strowman just murdering Roman Reigns?
I didn't catch that actually, but again, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Braun's doing some cool stuff now. That's good for him, you know.
I still can't believe Roman Reigns happened.
Yeah. Rip Taker. Roman got. Why the fuck was Taker's last match based on his fucking on a catchphrase from the fucking biker Taker era? That was the entire impetus for his retirement match. The fucking whose yard is it? Whose yard is it? That was
Roman isn't the big dog.
the big
woof,
dog.
woof.
So the big dog versus the my yard man. That was how the fucking Undertaker, or one of the most influential wrestlers in history, goes
Do you
out.
remember those times when Biker came out, when Undertaker came out on a bike?
Yeah, Biker
And
Taker.
Biker Taker came out on a bike.
Exactly, yeah, Biker Taker.
And he came out to Limp Bizkit. or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, Biker Taker, and it was his yard, and now it's not, because the fuck Roman Reigns is he's never going to be a face at this point. He's always going to be hated. He's going to be booed everywhere.
He should have cheated to win.
He should have just gone full heel. Like, I don't know, maybe. I don't know how. Again, that match. Because you could tell Taker's old. He was
Taker's first loss at Mania should have been a retirement.
I don't know, maybe. I mean,
Because Taker isn't special when he's lost.
well,
He's just an old bloke who shows up and does
yeah.
nothing.
I mean, the loss to Lesnar was on Taker's part on all part mismanaged, and just, I mean,
That match wasn't good because Taker got concussed early on.
yeah. I mean, but yeah, in the most recent WrestleMania one, you could see he was a year.
His Hell in a Cell match with Brock was okay.
Yeah, but I mean, he had nothing left in the tank for this WrestleMania. He was done. He was just fucking gassed from the beginning, and I mean, like Roman Reigns was not the one to make that an interesting match, but I don't think anyone could have made that a great match. Like, no one could have made it a match that Taker deserves as a retirement match, because he was just too fucking dead. But
The trouble is, the longer that Taker went on, the worse his final match would get.
Again, he should have fucking lost to Bray. But, oh well. Oh well, never mind. I was thinking about this, actually. I was thinking, you know what would have worked? I was thinking, I had a genius idea a while ago. What should have happened at WrestleMania was, at Bray Wyatt's match, Bray should have obviously and overtly disqualified himself, and just fucking stared Randy Orton in the eyes the whole time, and just handed him the fucking belt, literally handed him the belt, and everyone's confused, no one has any idea what's going on. And then, for the Taker match, he should have fucking come out while Roman was coming out and fucking killed Roman, just fucking laid him out on the fucking walkway, and then then fought Taker, fucking takes over Roman's place in the match and does like a fucking unplanned fucking match against Taker, and that's where they have their final match, and
But Roman is the big dog, and it's his yard.
But no, instead of that thing, that would have fucking made Bray Wyatt the coolest guy ever, because I'm the best booker in history. But instead of
You are the markiest Bray Wyatt fan.
I am a Bray Wyatt mark, only not because I'm depressed about Bray Wyatt not being as good as he should be. But whatever.
Have you seen that Kevin Owens has started doing this foreign heel gimmick?
What? I haven't. No.
He's been saying, "Oh, I'm the United States champion. I'm the face of America," which would have been a bloody fantastic thing to do during his Cena feud. But
yeah.
But it's just like, oh, okay.
Okay. So it's like the Patriots thing again, only the real Americans thing, but not. Yeah.
It's like he now on SmackDown he's basically holding his own open challenge.
Okay. I mean, good for him.
But the first one he did was just against some local jobber.
Oh, I see.
So it was just like a 5-second match, and then nothing else happened. And last week's SmackDown was terrible.
Oh, glad I missed it, I suppose. But
Naomi and Charlotte had a match.
oh, cool.
It was just kind of boring.
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte.
I feel that AJ Styles is a bit overexposed. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. One sec. I'm bad. Again, I don't know shit. Let me check, because if this is the one I'm thinking of, I have some shit to talk about. Let me check. Let me check. Yeah, AJ Styles. His fucking hair. His fucking hair. AJ Styles. I really gotta say. I mean, I've read the thing. I know why he does it, because like it's a unique thing. But if your unique thing is you look like shit, you shouldn't be unique. It's uniqueness for the sake of being unique, and your unique thing is you look fucking shit. He has such a bad look. He had such a trash look. He's just this fucking. He's a tiny man with goofy hair and fucking. He's a tiny man with goofy hair and this fucking weird like brow that's too big for his eyes, and he's just the gay community meme man at this point. I can never take him seriously because he's just this fucking vanilla midget, goofy hair. What are you even doing?
Vanilla midget is the best wrestling term.
It is the best wrestling term, but yeah. AJ, he looks like such a fucking dork. I mean, even
as like he looks like a soccer mom.
Yeah, I mean he's a great wrestler. Don't get me wrong, he's really good at wrestling.
Yeah.
But he just such a fucking nerd. Get out of it. You don't look like you belong in a ring. You look like you fucking belong. You don't look like you belong anywhere. You look like you belong a social outcast. You dork. Get out of here. He looks like he needs to be bullied. He deserves some good old-fashioned schoolyard bullying in real life.
I also just feel that like he's been positioned at the top of the SmackDown card to the point where I'm just like, yeah, I've seen him do too many matches at this point.
Okay, again, yeah, really good wrestler, but just the look, such a bad look, a bad look.
What do you think of his glove thing?
Dorky. It's dorky as fuck. It's dorky. Everything he does is just fucking dorky. We're Warhammer nerds, and I think that's dorky as fuck. Come on. What the fuck? What's he doing? What's he playing at? What is he playing at?
Yeah.
Oh well, I guess. Is there anything else you want to bring up? Is there anything else in wrestling you want to talk about?
Yeah, I miss old NXT.
Yeah, oh yeah, because Nakamura got promoted now, and he's cool as fuck. So
there was like a golden age for NXT where you had Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe, Nakamura, Asuka, Bayley, Sasha, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they've all moved up to the main roster, and the writing is worse on the main roster.
Yeah. I mean, is Bobby Roode still in there? Is Bobby Roode still in NXT? Was he been promoted?
Yeah, he's still there.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so at this point they have Bobby Roode and they have Asuka and
Asuka's great.
Yeah, Asuka's great. Asuka's the best. Best girl. 10 out of 10. But not 10 out of 10 because that's the perfect 10. That's another wrestler, which is didn't he get promoted as well? The perfect 10.
Sorry?
The perfect 10. I forget who his name is. Fucking.
Oh, Ty Dillinger.
Yeah. Did he get promoted?
He did.
Yeah.
He came out at number 10 at the Royal Rumble.
That's hilarious. It's brilliant. It's the best thing ever. It's the greatest thing in my life. It's, never mind. Vince McMahon, you're a genius. You're the greatest of all time. It's the best gimmick. I love it. The perfect 10.
Vince McMahon is in touch.
The perfect 10. The perfect. That gimmick means nothing, and it's brilliant. I love it. The perfect.
He just
10.
loses. He just loses so much.
The perfect 10.
He's the perfect 10.
The perfect 10. He's the perfect 10. 10. It's brilliant. It's the best gimmick that has ever been.
It's a fantastic gimmick.
There's never. If I can get out of here, Bray Wyatt, your spooky man shit's done. The perfect 10 is here.
I love when he comes out, people are holding up 10 signs. It's fantastic.
10. She's the perfect 10. The perfect 10.
People are just chanting 10.
The
10,
perfect
10.
10. It's a real. It's special. It's special. It's really the best thing.
But the thing is, though, these really great gimmicks that succeeded so well on NXT, like Tyler Breeze, just get torn apart on the main roster.
Bray Wyatt. Yeah. 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 Oh well. Hopefully, just Asuka can just stay there forever and be the coolest. And just that
Yeah.
careered. Just yeah. Oh well.
What do you think of Kevin Owens?
Hold on a sec. He's pretty cool. He's got an alright look. He's okay. He's okay.
I don't know if there's a thing called Talking Smack, which is like the
one
unscripted thing that they do after SmackDown. And they were talking about shoes, like before he came on. Then Kevin Owens came on and just threw his shoes at the desk.
Oh.
It was like, look at my shoes.
Good.
It was great.
That's
It
cool.
was a great segment.
Yeah, he's alright. Again, just he's sort of that again. Not really any gimmick, you know. I mean, I know how I feel about that. It's just okay.
He's a good heel.
He's a good heel, you know. Again, he's alright.
He talks in the middle of his match, which is always
Again,
good.
he's good. Again, he is very much good. He's just not that exciting, I feel. He doesn't pop enough. It's
He
competent
hasn't.
in all ways. So.
He's really good in a good feud, but apart from that, he's just. He was great with Chris Jericho.
Yeah. Again, he's very competent. Just he needs some. I think I don't know. Maybe he needs something to stand out. I think he does. I think that would help. But whatever.
I like Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho is
Great.
very cool. He's a real good lad.
He has all these little gimmicks which he can instantly put over with the crowd.
Yeah. Speaking of gimmicks, I suppose that might be a good thing to start us off with. The Hardy Brothers, of course, they're back now in WWE.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see all of the broken stuff? You're aware of that?
No,
You
I didn't.
missed that? You missed all of that? You missed the broken stuff?
Yes, all of it.
Well, never mind. Go watch that on YouTube after we're done here, because it's the greatest thing
Was
ever.
was that like a TNA deal?
Yeah, and it was the best thing ever. That was the sole
Right.
reason he was rehired, because it was so popular that fucking the TNA made so much money from it. It was the best thing ever. But
How do you feel about the New Day?
they're great. They're good. They're funny. I like it. It's a good joke. It depends on the context. So it sounds like fucking up where I feel like there's certain wrestlers they shouldn't get involved with. Like the time they did the feud with bring them again the Wyatts, it just didn't fix. It was just like this goofy of these don't belong in the same setting type thing, you know. But
Yeah.
again, they're cool.
What about Cesaro?
Cesaro's great. He's been dicked over so much, but he's a great wrestler. I love the stuff he does. He's a cool man, strong man, very good at what he at the fighting. He's got a strong character. He just gets dicked over by Vince a lot.
Yeah. Vince seems to think he doesn't. He's like. I think he's good on the mic. He has a good character.
Yeah, again, he's got charisma to
He's
him.
quite
but,
charismatic.
no, well.
He does. He has a cat named Klaus.
Yeah, again, he's got that sort of, and he's done all sort of stuff, but just no, he just gets fucked with. But oh well,
Yeah.
oh well. Rip Cesaro.
Do you remember Barrett? Bad News Barrett.
Bad News Barrett, all of the Barrett was great. He was really good. I loved what he did. He had a great look to him. He was a strong heel. He was pretty good on the mic. He did some great stuff, but then he quit before he really got anywhere. And oh well.
Well, WWE basically made him win King of the Ring, which is a death sentence.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because he had like the King Barrett gimmick for a bit, and that was just goofy
Yeah.
and just yeah.
Then he had that match against that actor bloke at SummerSlam,
Yeah, it's just oh well.
and he lost that.
Yeah. Wrestling's depressing. That's the ultimate truth of wrestling is. Wrestling is
Yeah.
the greatest sport ever made, and it's being run by morons.
It's being run by Vince McMahon.
You can't get off his wild ride. We're stuck
Nope.
forever.
Vinnie Mac's World Ride is forever.
Fucking hell. Yeah, it's a.
He loves seeing men with big muscles.
I'm not saying Vince McMahon is a closeted homosexual, but I mean, look into it.
Have you seen the bodybuilding league that he ran?
What it was? I forget who said it, but it was like it was sometime about a phone call they got from Vince, and like Vince said, "Have I ever told you about my first homosexual encounter?" And the other guy's reaction was, "Wait, first?" Just I mean, there's something going on there. Not saying Vince McMahon's a closeted homosexual, but no.
I'm saying this now, Vince McMahon.
But I'm saying
loves the dick.
Vince McMahon is gay for John Cena and Roman Reigns.
I'm saying this now. Vinnie Mac wants to have sexual intercourse with Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Not saying he's gay or anything.
I'm not saying he's gay, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. So,
I mean, as long as their balls don't touch, it's fine.
as long as the balls don't touch, totally straight, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess, next topic is, the binary succession, right?
I could do with taking a quick break.
Okay, I mean, how long do you need? Do you need to, pause audio, or what's going on with that?
I need a minute.
Okay, I mean, leave it there. I'll cover for a minute then, sure.
Okay, cover for me. I'll be back.
Okay, I'll do some preamble stuff, so... Alright then, he's gone, so, oh god. I'm fucking dying. I wasn't ready for it. This podcast's gone for fucking an hour and something minutes. How long is this? This podcast's been going for fucking 2 hours or something. I mean, probably a little bit less than I don't know how much of this stuff's gonna get cut from the beginning, but Jesus, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. Ugh. Yeah, so remember my video about the Adeptus Mechanicus and Mechanicum being different? That's gonna be important here, so if you wanna rewatch that in advance, I don't know, sure, whatever. Oh boy. What a podcast day. Why are you listening to this? I gotta say, I figure neither of us have voices for radio, do we? Yeah, whatever. Welcome to the worst podcast in the universe. It's a rip-off of Maddox's show. Good day. Oh well, I don't know how long he's gonna be gone, so I don't know how long I've got to cover for this, but I'm dying. I'm in hell. I'm in fucking hell. Somebody help me. Oh, he's back.
Yep, you can tell this is going to be a good podcast because already there's been 2 segments of just one person talking.
Oh yes, exactly. So it's great. That's the real dream, you know.
I think Vince McMahon might be the person who designed that Sin Cara shirt.
Maybe. So where are we? Binary Succession, right? That's a new audiobook released by Black Library, and it is AdMech related. And again, we are AdMech guys. That's our gimmick, really. So we should.
We are AdMech faces.
Yeah. So a new audiobook all about the Mechanicum and the Adeptus Mechanicus. This book. It's you haven't listened to it, have you? Said so.
I am the Ms. Doubter, your Ms.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. So.
I have not listened to it.
No, you haven't. So I'll explain. So. It's set at the Horus Heresy. It's set after the after the events of the book Mechanicum.
I have listened to the audio sample. So I know generally.
Yeah, again, Fabricator Locum Kane is a key figure in this, but so it's the main just for the audience listening. It's said after the events of Mechanicum, which was one of the less bad Horus Heresy books. So and it's about the loyalist forces of Mars now on Terra. And it's about, specifically, their gambit to try and make sure they have the right amount of influence despite not having Mars. And their way to do that is by founding the Adeptus Mechanicus. That is to say, this whole book was essentially just about confirming that my video, the Adeptus Mechanicus and Mechanicum, are different. They're not the same. It's essentially just an hour, I don't know exactly, it's an hour and a half, I think, of confirming that I'm exactly and absolutely right in all ways, and everyone should listen to me. So, very gratifying an experience to listen to, frankly. It's, It's very much, as stated, it's not too action packed. There's a bit of action. There's two real main action scenes. One real like a sort of a fight scene, and another one that's very much a tense scene. And
Right.
they're both very cool. The whole book's very good. It's done as it's only released as an audiobook, so it's all done. It's got multiple actors going on. It's got all sound effects and shit going on. It's a good listen. And the story covers the new ambassador working for fabricator Locum Kane, who's always a fun character. It's great to see how he's developed from mechanicum to being this from this very human, like very humanoid physically, but emotionally as well, very human character into this. It's just that horrifying tank monster. It's great. It's seeing how he's going. It's got a lot of politics stuff going on. It's got a lot of like interface stuff. Like there's this great like bit talking about how like all of the Martians there, they just spend their like every fucking night just staring up at Mars in a big congregation. It's great. Just fucking mourning. It's fantastic. There's lots of like interesting character descriptions of like of how all of these admech guys are, well, not that mechanicum at this point guys are. I gotta not break my own rules. Mechanicum dudes are, so there's a lot of variation.
Don't break admech kayfabe.
There's some introduction. There's like electro priests that they brought in, so that's fun. Sort of hopefully that's leading into some of the 40k.
Did it develop them at all, or are they still a bit confused?
It's still a bit confused, but whatever. They're still shirtless crazy dudes. So whatever. We'll talk about electro priests at another time, but.
That's a topic for another podcast if this series continues.
Yeah. Again, it's got it's got the High Lords of Terror. It's got stuff with them going on. It's got were they the High Lords at this point? I think they were. Yeah, and it's got Malkador the Sigillite. A bit of him. He's always an interesting guy.
Would this have been pre or post Secundus?
The Imperium Secundus. I don't quite know how it would apply there. I think sort of. It's not exactly clear. When again, but the Horus Heresy is still very much on. Horus hasn't reached the Sol system yet, but Mars has been lost, so sort of in between that area. And I will note one clarification, one addition. This has changed it. There's a minor retcon. So now we know the Adeptus Mechanicus was founded during the Horus Heresy as opposed to after the Horus Heresy. So there you go. There's the one thing I got wrong in my award-winning video. Is that the Adeptus Mechanicus actually formed midway through the Horus Heresy. But yeah, either way, it's a good listen. I'd recommend it. Is it worth the asking price? Maybe. I don't know. It's Warhammer stuff.
I think it's like £9.
Yeah, it's like an hour and a bit long. So if you think that's worth it, I blame you. Again, it's Warhammer. Everything's a bit expensive.
From the audio sample they provided, it seemed to have quite a good atmosphere.
Yeah, again, it's got a lot of stuff going on. It's got the multiple voice actors. It's got the sound effect stuff going on. That goes through the whole thing, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I certainly, it adds a lot to it. I'd certainly say it's very much an immersive experience, if you like. But it's a good book. It's a good read. Well, listen, I rate it 4 stars. I'm going to give it 4 stars. 4 to 5. Pretty good.
Out of a potential
5. 4 to 5. So yeah, pretty good. that's my review.
What would you rate Mechanicum?
Probably 3 out of 5. Because I'm going to get into this. The Mechanicum it's a fucking huge book. I ain't going to start talking about that. It had some good bits. It had some bad bits. I did not care for the fucking Dahlia, whatever her name was, all of that, and she was a good bulk of the story, and I never fucking gave a shit, so whatever. Point is, Mechanicum was in some parts pretty good, in some parts pretty fucking shit, but yeah. It was all around about, yeah. Either way, Binding Succession, I rate it good, positive, good job.
4 out of 5. Willem Dafoe Goblin Screechers.
Yeah, and I think that about wraps up our podcast. Do you have any closing words, Tech Free Steve?
If you've made it this far, you deserve a medal.
You do, but unfortunately, you get nothing, you lose.